Absolutely, Bruno. Yeah, you did talk like close to 26 minutes or maybe 20 minutes, right, about the concept of money and what money actually implies to us, and eventually what are the different modes and forms of money. Money that was maybe in the ancient ages, and how money has actually transformed over the years, right? And money is not just the paper currency nowadays. Money is also in the form of digital currency, for that matter. It has been digitalized, right? So the concept of digitalization has actually taken over not only kind of many aspects of our lives, but also the most significant aspect of our life, that is actually money, right? Uh, but you didn't talk about how money actually is so significant for us and how money actually can call the shots, for that matter, right? How can we use money, and how you did talk about it, but you didn't explain it very elaborately, all right? So I'll just try to focus on that area, and also post my explanation we can have a proper discussion and conversation on certain points, right, which you can take up a little later. But talking about money, we have to start off by defining this concept of money, because it's a very kind of broad term, right? Money is basically that medium through which we can purchase or buy a product, right? And it basically enables us to acquire or buy anything under the roof, right? Which is actually sellable in the market. Anything which is sellable, right, can be bought by the concept of money, right? So if money is there, obviously we'll be able to buy something out of it, right? That's what the idea of money is, right? And in the ancient ages, when the paper currency was not there, when the concept of money was not there, right, it was actually present in some way or the other, in a very loose sense, for that matter, right? In those ages, there was this idea of a barter system where people used to exchange one product with the other to compensate for for whatever they have bought and whatever they have sold, right? So that means if someone bought a bag of rice from a seller, right? Then the buyer would actually kind of compensate by handing him over a bag of wheat, right? So that's how things worked out in those days. So in the past, the concept of barter system was there, which basically talked about the idea of exchanging one product with the other product, right? This happened because there was no properly defined concept, right, such as money in those days, right? But over the ages, okay, through the passage of time, slowly and gradually, people started evolving, and their necessities and needs also started growing, and also, they started also growing, transforming, for that matter, right? So everything started moving from one stage to another stage, and things started getting better as well, and things started getting complicated as well. So with this transformation which happened, people were wanting something in the form of money, right? So post the barter system, the concept of money just got evolved a little, with the idea that they started using some type of coins, basically, right? This could be a kind of copper coin, this could be gold coin, or this could be basically silver coin as well, right? So this was that actually those coins actually denoted the concept of money, right? So if someone had to buy something from the market, or from the seller for that matter, they have to pay off some bit of coin from their side, right? And it could be of any metal for that matter, right? I believe that the most precious metal in those days used to be copper, silver, and gold. These were the three most precious metals in those days, right? And slowly and gradually, okay, this mode of exchange actually became very popular, and people found it really very convenient to transact with this concept of money, right? And like again, human transformation happened. Okay, people started evolving, right? Their needs started growing, and eventually people found that there has to be a more convenient mode of exchange and more convenient mode of transaction, right? So so that actually gave rise to the paper concept of money, right? The paper currency that we are witnessing nowadays in our lives, the modern paper currency, is actually the post evolvement or emergence, okay, of kind of coins that were there in those days, right? So paper currency nowadays, that is actually the most acceptable mode of transaction that happens anywhere under the roof, for that matter, right? And I would say that, not just paper currency, there are different other modes of transaction nowadays. Like you talked about Bitcoins are there. I don't know how, it depends on the legality and the rules and regulations of the country nowadays that Bitcoin can be accepted or not. But most of the times, probably there are a lot of restrictions as far as the usages of Bitcoins are concerned, right? But the concept of money just got all the more, you can say, uh, crucial and all the more kind of important when the humans actually evolved the digital form of money. That means no money but card system, right? So people started using card instead of money. So this card is not really money, but it's just that it helps us to kind of access money, right? The reason behind the usage or introduction of the card system was to ensure security and safety of money, right? So, at the end of the day, safety and security of finances and money is of utmost importance and really very vital for our existence. And probably there was actually a concern as far as safety and security of money and our finances were concerned. Hence, this concept of card system actually evolved, all right? And I would say that's the most effective, most potent, and secure way of transacting, right? Given the fact that there might be vulnerability as far as liquid money is concerned. But yes, of course, liquid money is still the most popular mode of transaction and exchange that is there as of now, right? And digitalized transactions, digital money for that matter, that is also very vital, right? And it actually, the only thing that is there in digital money or digitalized transactions is the fact that there's a lot of safety and security as far as the transactions are concerned, right? But probably I feel that there is some type of vulnerability in that as well, right? Because of the fact that there are certain important codes which are there, right? Which have to be secured, which needs to be secure, right? And if it is not secure, then there might be a risk to that. So that is one thing out there. But what is the core idea of money, right? We have to figure out that human existence and human, kind of struggle that is there day in and day out. A general common individual, all right, he is actually exerting day in and day out, or she's actually exerting day in and day out from early in the morning till late at night. People tend to work, right? The core idea of the fact that we are working, that we are slogging it out, okay, is the reason that we want to make a good living. And in order to make a good living, it's quite obvious that we have to earn good amount of money, right? So that basically means that money is at the core of our existence, and we can have a good living only when we earn adequate amount of money, right? Because at the end of the day, money actually enables us to fulfill our necessities, our wants, our requirements which are there, right? Different people have different types of requirements. Some might have a very high and urgent level of requirements, while others might have just average requirements. So our requirements actually dictate the fact as to how much we are going to work and what kind of job that we are going to do, right? At the end of the day, money brings in those comfort, the materialistic comfort and worldly comfort of our lives, right? If we have to lead a comfortable life, a life which is, can deprived of scarcity, where there's no scarcity, we have to ensure that there is actually a good amount of money in our lives, and of course, we have to go for it, right? We have to ensure that we are earning good amount of money to make a good and comfortable living. Only adequate amount of money can ensure that there's no dearth or scarcity in our lives, right? So every individual, no matter the person is in which part of the world, every individual has to slog it out, and people actually kind of earn money through various ways, right? There are people who are in different professions. There are people who are in different jobs and occupations, and based on that job, they actually make their living and earn money, right? So if you have to make a good living, obviously we have to earn good money at the end of the day, right? So nowadays, our professions are varied in form. They are different for that matter. There are people who make money by, kind of starting off their own businesses, right? There are people who are self-employed. There are people who work for other businesses for that matter, who have a profession, who have a job to do, right? So they make a fixed amount of income as their monthly, kind of earnings for that matter, right? So there are people who have their own, kind of, you can say, trade and business, and they make incomes as per the level of input that they are putting in, right? So every individual now has to slog it out and has to earn money to make a good living for that matter. All right. And nowadays, money can be earned in various ways. It's not just that one has to do a business or one has to actually do do a specific job to earn money. All right. There are different ways of earning money nowadays. But of course, whatever money we are earning, one thing is for sure that we have to keep this in mind that we earn money through the right way, right? Whatever earnings that we have, it has to be legal and it has to be earned through the right means and through the right way, right? Whatever that has whatever has been actually kind of legalized by the authorities, by the government, whatever is allowed and permitted, okay, to be legal jobs, we have to kind of do those jobs for that matter, right? So different professions, different types of occupations are there, and they but the one thing which is very common in all the professions and in all the businesses is the fact that there is actually a generation of certain amount of money, right? In people who have the businesses for that matter, or trades for that matter, they might actually their earnings might actually go up, right, and might fluctuate as well, right? People doing specific jobs, right, for that matter, they have a fixed earning for that matter. So every type of job actually ensures that there is actually generation of income. Now, the point out here is that at the end of the day, how much a person can actually make to make a comfortable living. Of course, there is no proper, there's a very simple definition. Sorry, there's a very simple answer or reply to this that, as much as a person can earn through the right means, through by virtue of his or her skills that she or she has got, the person has to earn, right? So at the end of the day, even if when we are earning, we are also we have our responsibilities as well, right? When at the end of the day, when we are earning, we have to ensure that we actually set aside certain amount of money for meeting our expenditures, for in the form of savings, right? For future, concern for that matter. There are so many other, things that we can do with the help of money, right? So this is actually the core idea and core concept of money, and money is actually important, necessary, right? And we have to ensure that we make a good living by actually earning good money, all right? And at the end of the day, uh, money is actually a very significant part of our life, right? Money can ensure that the country becomes economically prosperous. It's money, the per capita of the country decides whether the country is economically backward or economically progressive or economically under progressive. All right, it's actually the per capita income of the economy that actually determines the standard of living of the people of the country. So money actually plays a very crucial role in determining not just the standard of living of the people, but the standard of living of the people of the entire country for that matter, right? So that's how money can actually prove to be so crucial for all of us, right? Money can actually help build infrastructures. Money can help build those high rises, which can actually in turn help to generate more employment and produce more goods. All right. So money, I think at the end of the day, if a country has to prosper, or if an individual has to prosper, money has to be there. All right. And eventually we have to decide that we have to ensure that whatever money that we are earning, it's actually earned through the right way, right? And that should be our motivation at the end of the day, right? And because at the end of the day, if earnings are not and if we don't earn in the right way, then probably that might have certain backlashes as well, right? There might be some repercussions of it as well. So that's the other side of the story, right? Therefore, that's what I can say out here is that money is a significant part of our life, and we have to ensure that every individual, as per his capability and as per his or her skill, has to ensure certain amount of money in his or her life, right? And at the end of the day, we are all educated individuals, probably, right? And at the end of the day, we have to also understand that education can also bring in good amount of money, right? If a person is educated enough, he might actually be prioritized in certain jobs and occupations. If a person is skilled enough, okay, by virtue of the education that he has got, that person might actually get a good amount of money, right? The person might find it easy to make money, and People, educated individuals have a different kind of mindset, and that actually enables them to earn good money. But it's not really 100% sure or correct to say that education only can bring money, or without education people cannot earn money, right? Nowadays the concept of earning money has actually evolved completely, and even people who who are kind of who can't even put in their initials, right? They can actually earn good money, right? So it depends on the kind of skill the person has got, because different countries, different states, they provide different opportunities, right? And there are opportunities for every individual based on the kind of skill the person has got, right? There are certain skills, there are certain jobs that requires proper education, while there are other jobs which just requires you to be a little skilled enough to have a little bit of experience about the job, right? So there are jobs for even uneducated individuals nowadays, right? So that's what I can say here, Bruno. If you have more points to add, let's actually come up with those points. Let's talk about those points, and if you have questions, let's actually have more discussion on that.
Good. Thank you very much, Dover, for your for providing a great explanation on money, how it is money important. But um, yes, money can actually address us towards or backwards. It's very important to highlight. Money indeed can create a backlash if we do not earn the money um, fairly or correctly. You know, if the source of money was yes, actually from, for example, corruption or illegally, let's say like that, uh, certainly this money will bring to the people problems. It cannot happen at the same moment we earned the money illegally, but in the future certainly. So um, or maybe never. But of course, uh, the money is important, but we need to understand where is money coming from. That's the question. And also, uh, uh, how is the money? Is the money more important than our life? You know, I think those questions is very important to raise because the money can bring problem or not. You know, I have right here in Brazil. We have right here in Brazil a plenty of examples that how money um, can address our life to the wrong direction if we do not use it correctly. But it is some of the case, of course. There are plenty of, let's say, situations where the money is very, very useful. All right, we have to highlight that we need the money. We cannot live without money. You know, we earn money like you as a teacher, like me as an employee of a specific company. We need the money, but we need to understand and to know how to use the money. That's the point. You know, actually I don't have further questions, just these comments that I just mentioned, Tom. Very good topic. I hope to talk about that uh, uh, in the future, to talk about that again in the future, because it's always important to understand the money, because the money makes part of our life, and as you mentioned, plays a crucial role in our life. I have no doubt about that. And I'd like to a final question, Tomer. Um, Actually, the question that I just mentioned, is the money more important than our life or our freedom? Why am I asking or questioning that? Because most of the time we work a lot and do not have time to use the money. How can we handle or deal with this big issue?
Absolutely, a lot of things you talked about, and you literally resonated by thoughts and ideas about money, right? About the sources of earning money, about how we are making our living. It's important to determine that fact, right? And of course, that you talked about, is freedom more important than money? I feel that freedom, basically, when we talk about, you have to figure out what exactly you understand by the concept of freedom, right? And eventually, freedom has got varied, interpretations and different assumptions as well. So what I can figure out is that, you want to say that freedom of maybe thought expression or whatever. Probably, I feel that if there is no money, there'll be less freedom for you, right? And if you can earn good money, and if you can kind of make a good living, right? Obviously, the freedom would be, kind of will be available and will be existing in different ways and different forms, right? So probably, I feel that money brings in a lot of, kind of respect to people, right? Through various ways, right? But that's also a debatable issue, whether money really brings in respect to us or reputation to us, or does it make you a really a respected social person in the society for that matter, right? But at the end of the day, money can actually bring in those happiness, the materialistic happiness, which is necessary to lead a comfortable and a happy life, right? Many people might actually debate that money doesn't really bring in happiness, or money is not everything. There is more to it, right? I think that's a debatable issue altogether, because at the end of the day, when there's scarcity, right? When there's scarcity and when we don't have enough money and when we are not able to make the ends meet, all right? When we are not able to meet our necessities, our wants, our requirements, right? Children's education, child's education, right? And, daily expenditures and so on and so forth. At the end of the day, that's going to bring us more ramifications. That's going to create a lot of negatives in our lives, right? Hence, we have to be very sure about the fact that we earn good money to make a good living, so that whatever our needs, our necessities, our wants are, right, relating to our food, clothing, and shelter, that can be met, right? A person, an individual, right, a sane individual has got certain basic requirements. A fundamental requirement of every human being is actually revolving around the concept of food, clothing, and shelter, right? So if you can actually manage good food, good clothes, and a good shelter, all right, then obviously that means your basic requirements have been fulfilled. And also, apart from these basic requirements, there are other miscellaneous requirements that are there in every person's life, right? To give your child a good education, to meet the daily expenditures and necessities, okay, that arises in due course. So, family is actually important, and taking care of the family basically requires a good amount of money as well, right? But that's a point where people might actually argue that, family can be nurtured with less money as well. But yeah, that's okay, that's correct, right? But it all actually depends on one's own, kind of mindset. Okay, whether a person would like to nurture a family with less money, with average money, or the person is wanting to nurture his family with a good amount of money, so that there is no scarcity in his or her life, right? It depends on the mindset of an individual, the approach of an individual towards this very concept, right? So freedom would be more enjoyable if you are actually, earning good money, because you'll be able to spend good money on those things of your life which can bring you happiness, right? The basic and fundamental requirements of every individual, food, clothing, and shelter, should be met with the amount of money that you are earning. And I think if that is met, then obviously, the half of your need has been fulfilled, and the other half can be fulfilled by taking care of whatever expenditures that you have, right? And that's how things would happen. I would say that freedom is actually important, and freedom can happen only when you are able to meet your necessities, your wants, your requirements, right? And I feel that good earning money can actually help you do that. Bruno?
Mm-hmm. All right, very clear. Very clear. So yes, indeed, money important. We have to use money consciously. You know, people argue that yes, the money can bring us pleasure, but in the same time, yes, indeed, we have to balance on the money, lifestyle, freedom, and do not be how can I say that? Do not let um, uh, the money control us. We have to control the money. We have to keep the money under control, because otherwise, if we let the money control us, most probably we will be going to the wrong direction. I think so. But very good. Thank you very much, Taver, for this discussion and a very good topic. I see you next class. All right. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, Bruno. Very well said, and very nice way to conclude that we should not allow money to control us. We should be able to control money, and so only then we are going to make a better living and a good living for that matter.
Yeah.
Right? That's important,
Indeed.
right? And appreciate you coming to the class, and I'll see you again in the next lesson this week. Okay?
See
I'm
you. Have a
available
nice
tomorrow
night.
as well, day after tomorrow as well. So if you want, we can do
Good.
another lesson. Bruno?
Good to know. Good to know. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming to the class, Bruno. I'll see you again in the next lesson. Take care. Bye bye. And also, please
See you.
confirm the
Take
class.
care.
Bye bye.
I will do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.